Hi, I'm Mr. Gallo, and I'd like to welcome you to European History. Hopefully, during the time in which you're enrolled in my class, we will get to know each other better, and I'd like to start out by telling you a little bit about myself. First of all, this is my 28th year teaching. Two of those have been at Dwight Global. Uh, in addition to that, as you can probably tell by the bright orange shirt, I am a Tennessee Vol fan. I began my love affair with the Vols back when I was 4 or 5 years old when my brothers and sisters went there. And it was an interesting affair because I was actually born and raised in New Jersey my entire life until I went to graduate school at UT Knoxville. I still live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm married. I have two children. My children are actually far apart in age. One just turned 29 this week, and that's my son Dylan, and my daughter Carolyn is 17. I currently have Carolyn in my class in my brick and mortar school, and I had Dylan in three of my classes during his time at my high school as well. Being at Dwight, I've learned about the spark of genius, and I guess my spark of genius is history. Those of you who get to know me well will realize I have a real love of Russian history, and my favorite monarch is actually Peter the Great. Hopefully, you're paying attention to this because I'm going to ask you this question on a test for extra credit. Um, I also work with new teachers through the College Board. I help prepare teachers to teach AP US history and AP European history, and I've been doing that for about 15 years now. I have several personal hobbies, but the one my family and I are most passionate about would be travel. We have been to over 40 countries, 5 continents. I'm still waiting to go to Antarctica and Australia. And we were actually on our way to Spain when the quarantine began this year, and we were one day out and had to basically cancel our trip. However, we know that we will have future travel that we will enjoy as we go throughout. I've got several other hobbies as well. Uh, I've been skiing since I was in high school, and I started snowboarding for my 40th birthday and do both pretty well. My family goes skiing every year on a nice family trip. I also love to read and I love to binge watch TV. This time of the During the time of the quarantine, I watched several new television shows, and probably my favorite was something called Counterpart on Amazon Prime if you're interested in watching something good, although it is difficult to follow. I ran for a good portion of my life as well, and while I enjoyed the running days in the past few years, I've had to stop. I've had knee surgery at the beginning of last year, and I was told my running career was to come to an end, and consequently, I've gained a few pounds since then. A few other fun facts about myself. As I said, I was born in New Jersey and went to the undergrad at the College of New Jersey. Of course, being from New Jersey, I love Bruce Springsteen and have always, but my favorite musical act would be the Dave Matthews Band. I actually almost proposed to my wife at a concert, but I held back and waited. Just couldn't do it. But we danced to Dave Matthews' song during our wedding. I'm also a big country music fan. I guess living in Tennessee, that comes with the territory, but I love several different groups, especially Blake Shelton. And I also love classic rock. Fleetwood Mac, Tom Petty, uh, Def Leppard are just among many of the different groups that I like. A few other fun facts about myself include the fact that I run a trivia night at a local restaurant. My family has always been big into Trivial Pursuit, and so once a week I run a trivia game for this local restaurant, which is pretty fun. It takes up a few hours a week. And then probably the most interesting fact about myself is that I was able to run the Olympic torch in 2012, and I ran it outside of Edinburgh in Scotland before the Olympics. And during that time that I ran the torch, I actually got to meet John Legend. In fact, I hung out with John Legend for a week and did not know that he was John Legend until the last night when they introduced him as such. He had went by his traditional last name, but it was an enjoyable time and really got to know him pretty well during that time period. Well, that's all about me, and I hope to see you in class soon. Take care. Bye bye.